Sure, I've had conversations with the city and about how to move forward with purchasing the property. I think what the plan will be is for us to finance, both entities to finance the purchase of the property. What we're waiting on to present to the legislative bodies is what Steve's working on. You know, how much money do we need to do the expansion? How long will the expansion, how long will the life be of the expansion? And then we can move forward, or I can, through the county commission. Now, one thing that we're talking about is what we did back 20 years ago when we financed the expansion. At that time, is the city and county doing their own bond issues separately, and half of the cost. So that's just kind of where we are now. But what I need when the time comes is, I think what Tony Cox and the City Council will need too is a request from this body for the money for the expansion.
I thought your board, the county commission, approved your hack.
Well, they did in the budget, and what I've done is after my discussions with Tony is we're going to move that money to paving, and the idea is to finance it.
Is that holding up our buying this land?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think we both have the cash flow. Let's say we both have the cash flow to go ahead and purchase the property. Now, we've got the letter request to buy it, but listening today I don't hear a trigger being pulled here. I mean, we're still evaluating the information that GFL sent us, is that right?
Well, the information they're sending us is pretty much just what we need for design purposes.
Okay.
And at the last meeting, I think your attorneys were still reviewing. So from our standpoint, I talked to their engineer. We've got their aerial flight. He's getting us the CAD files Monday. He's getting us the Alta survey Monday. And I don't know of anything else other than just getting Dennis to do some potholing that's going to slow us down.
So,
from my standpoint, I think we've got what we need. I don't know about legalese and all that.
So those potholes, will that decide, hey, we're not going to do it, or hey, we're going to do it?
It'll decide how we're going to lay it.
But we're still going to do it.
We're pushing, yeah.
So it's on. So what we need to tell Bill is, hey, we're going forward with this. We need to pull the trigger. We're not waiting on anything else to say, hey, we're not, or hey, we are. We are going to do this. That's what you're looking for.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
He needs to know today, actually last month, that we're on board. And what else do we need to say that we're on board here?
Matt, if we wait for other things to stop,
We'll be here all week. We'll be here for another year.
that'll happen.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we've already issued the letter of intent.
Yeah.
You know, to
We voted in
GFL.
May.
We have the request.
Yeah.
And-
So what else do you need?
Well, I just wanted clarification from
Yeah,
what he just said. And
But Tony wants a letter from the board, don't he?
I gave him one.
He's already got one.
Yeah.
Before this came,
No, he wrote me a letter on June 23rd, and I sent a letter back to him on the 30th, and it's in the packet.
so what's this letter mean? I met with him at his request, and I talked with you all was interested in us putting it on the tipping fee, so, and then I read this letter, I don't understand what Tommy wants.
Well, I mean, it's my understanding till today that the city and county was moving forward with it.
Well,
So
they were
this is
gonna
new
pay
information.
for it, the city was gonna finance it, I think.
Well, we were asking the
So now they're
city.
gonna finance it too, so it'll all be through tipping fees, is that right?
Yeah. Tony's concern in the letter, if you read it, was that that there's other users of the landfill besides Hamlin County, the citizens of Hamlin County. We've got other people coming in, and that we were paying for all of the property and not properly allocating the cost to the other users of the landfill that are outside the county. That's what his letter basically said. But it was my understanding that they were moving forward. I mean, until today.
Well, that's clarified.
Yeah, but that's not the case now, is it right? So, I mean, you're not just buying the property, we're financing it in the tipping fee.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Wait a minute. That's not what the agreement says. The agreement says that if we need additional land, the county, I'm talking about the chart that everybody's familiar with, says the county and the city will buy it. Is that not gonna happen?
Well, we're gonna finance it, and we're on the hook for it.
But
I mean, you know, we, city and county are responsible for the bonds.
But you said the tipping fee was gonna pay for it. That's not right.
That's what the discussion is today. Yes, that's new information today.
Does the board agree with that?
I mean, that's not where I understood we were going to today.
I agree. I don't agree with
Is
that.
that still a 50-50 deal too?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, but now it's gonna be 100% on us on the tipping fee, correct? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what it's all been.
I mean, it's my understanding from Tony's letter that
So what,
they're going through budget amendments to do this, and that they would process a check for the land. So that was the last communication I had from the city. That's what his letter says.
You know, we're operating this thing primarily for the city and the county, and that's how it started. And they don't need to back up on the agreement, because we already had increase in the tipping fee, and we're talking about increasing it again, and with it, we'd have to increase it a third time.
No, not, it all depends on, based on my conversations with our financial advisor, it depends on the cost, on as far as if the 16 acres and the class 3 and the changes that causes with phase 1 and 2, the $7 may cover it all as far as financing, because of it extends the length of the landfill to close to 30 years. So we can extend the financing, which lowers the payments, and that's good news, Keith. I got that news this week. So I think the financing will be the best option, and we may, I can't guarantee it, we may be able to do it all for the $7.
That's still wrong, though, Bill. The city and the county is obligated to buy this $700 worth of land, not the board through the tipping fee.
this letter says they're paying for their half. The city does. I mean, it says it right there.
Let me ask you this, how much, 100%, what percentage would be out of the county trash?
Very minimal, because
Less than 10 probably, isn't it?
Tony asked for those numbers, and
Yeah, it's not a lot.
looks like the first quarter, January 2022 to March 2022, total tons 16,423.49, and of that, Hamlin County was 16,273.48. Almost all of it, except for
That's less than that.
Yeah.
150.
So that theory goes out the door, it's
Yeah.
not for other counties,
No,
for other people outside the county.
no. The total purchase price is $700,000.
Yes.
Well, I think, to me, the issue is the city pays half and the county pays half. I thought that's what the understanding was.
Well, according to this letter, Tony's ready to pay his half unless something's changed since this letter, which was wrote on the 23rd of June.
Well,
Have you talked to him since then? Is that what you're saying, Bill? So he's changed his mind as well.
Or we had a conversation.
I mean, he did address some of those concerns in the letter, but I'm just saying up till today, that was our understanding, that the process was in place. The county had already approved it for $350. The city was going through budget amendments to get their $350 approved to issue the check, and that's where we thought we were.
That's what it should be. Somebody's playing games.
What's it on in the letter?
June 23rd, 2022.
Basically, he was asking me for a request letter like I'd issued to the county, and I issued a request letter back to him based on what the board approved in May. My letter was dated June 30th.
I will get our process rolling to be ready to have the funds for the city share. So I sent it to them.
Well, I'll talk to him again. And the commission hasn't made there's a proposal on the table for Thursday.
Well, we're ready to pull the trigger.
Okay.
Well, this, John, that's for you, but, I mean, if we have to go up again.
There's no need doing
I'm not
it.
gonna take anything out there, so your revenue's gonna go down.
Yeah, I mean, that ain't gonna
My
work.
customers are already complaining.
Yeah, we're already on the fence right now. We're about to fall off of it. You go up anymore, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just.
You might as well close the door. Ain't gonna even buy the property if we're going to have to go up again.
Yeah.
And I would like to reiterate one thing, we're out of time.
Yeah.
That's why this class 3 is gonna be of the most importance. It's gonna buy us time. That's not gonna happen.
So here we go. We got another curveball.
Yeah,
I
for the
was looking
city,
at your tonnage.
it was my understanding that,
Yeah, it's got to happen or it's done.
the timing from the city that I had from him, it says, I'll work on getting the first reading of the budget amendment on July 19th on the city council agenda. Assuming it passes, there will be a public hearing and the second reading on August 2nd. So that's the time frame we were on with the city.
But like I said, when I was looking at the figures at 80 cents, half of the revenue that came in was C and D, so that could have been diverted.
Yes. Yes.
And that's gonna, if I was putting an honest guess, 8 months from now, it's done.
And it looks like our tonnage is even going up a little. I noticed our tonnage was 6,200 for the month.
And I'm squeezed.
So,
I mean, it's up to y'all.
Well, it ain't up to us.
Well, okay, yeah.
okay, and to build this
Well,
back in,
We're committed to buying.
yeah,
It's just how it's gonna be done.
yeah, so,
There's, no,
Yeah.
So you
we're
think,
we're
you
committed
think
to
it's a
buying the
done
property.
deal then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we're committed to buying the property.
so,
I think we need to write a letter to Tony and tell him that the county is holding up their end of the deal. If I understand what Bill just said, they're gonna pay for half of this, and Tony needs to pay for the other half in the store.
well, I did write him a letter in June, and,
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it was already approved from the county side, so that's the information I've been operating on up to this point.
Problem the county needs, the city needs to vote on it as soon as possible.
That's, it'll be through the second reading as of August 2nd, is my understanding. So it's going on to, let's say, July 19th.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah, and And then again, the second reading on the 2nd of August. So,
That's good.
so it's not a matter of whether we're gonna get the property or not, we're gonna get the property. That's gonna happen. And then the other piece of this is, next month, and I think Steve is working on this, we're gonna try to get our numbers as close as we can that we need for the financing for the phases 1 and 2 and this additional property, because we've got to submit a request to county commission for the bond issue. So we can kind of wrap some of this up between now and the next meeting, firm up how this land's going to be purchased, what our bond issue numbers are going to be, so that we can get that in front of county commission. It's my understanding the county, I guess, borrows the money, Bill, and then the city enters into it.
No, it'll be,
Or
it's gonna be two separate.
two separate issues. Okay, so we need to get that also in front of city council, separately for half of it. Okay, okay. So keep me posted on that process, but we're gonna work on the numbers, bring that back to let Bill know and let the city know what the bond issue request needs to be, so that we can get that approved.
Ron, you may not, I know you can't answer this, but if we agree to buy the property and all that before we actually close, because it's gonna take some time, do you think the GFL would allow us to go ahead and start utilizing that demolition landfill?
I couldn't imagine why they'd have any pushback on it. I'm gonna check. But I
And
don't,
you can give them it'll take them off the hook of keeping up with the leash.
sweet.
I'll handle it.
That's a great, I like this.
We ain't got no choice. If we're going into the future, we ain't got no choice.
And you're welcome to send me all the trash you need during your emergency situation.